Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Mudiraye. Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityaṁ bhāgavata-sevayā. Bhagavati Uttamashloke Bhaktir Bhavati Nishtaki. Durlabhamanasho Deho Dehinam Shana Bhangurai. Atrapi Durlabham Manye Vaikuntha Priyadarshinaha. Gurve Gaurachandraya Radhikaya Tadalaye. Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shrivas Adi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. Dear Vaishnavas, thank you so much for joining. We are reading the story of Trinavrata, the whirlwind demon. And yesterday we were reading text 26. So we discussed that Krishna, just to give a visual effect. So first Krishna was there with her mother. The mother was, they were playing, they were sitting, and the mother was lifting the baby Krishna. And suddenly, this little Krishna was gone with a whirlwind demon. Very, very powerful wind. And this demon was carrying Krishna as well. It is mentioned, as we were discussing yesterday, it was like a pendant in the neck of this demon, Trinavrata. And everyone was anxious. Now they had reached to the peak. So first they were going up, but they reached the peak now, and now Krishna was displaying his, so first he displayed Anima Siddhi. So first he displayed actually Mahima here when he was with Mata Yashoda, and then Trinavrata came, left him, then he displayed Anima, or Laghima, sorry. This is Laghima Siddhi, quite similar to Anima, Laghima Siddhi, lighter. And then he went up, and then again Mahima. Now they have reached the peak point, and that's what we discussed yesterday. He could not go further up because Krishna is so heavy now. So let's see what happens further from text number 27. Tam ashmanam manyamana atmano guru mattaya gale grihita utsrishtum na shaknod adbhutarbhakam. Translation and purport by Abhicharana Ravinda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. Because of Krishna's weight, Trinavrata considered him to be like a great mountain or a hunk of iron. But because Krishna had caught the demon's neck, the demon was unable to throw him off. He therefore thought of the child as wonderful, since he could neither bear the child nor cast aside the burden. Hare Krishna. Trinavrata intended to take Krishna up in the sky and kill him. But Krishna enjoyed the pastime of riding on Trinavrata's body and traveling for a while in the sky. Thus, Trinavrata attempted to kill Krishna. Trinavrata's attempt to kill Krishna failed, while Krishna, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Vigraha, enjoyed this pastime. Now, since Trinavrata was falling because of Krishna's heaviness, he wanted to save himself by throwing Krishna off from his neck, but he was unable to do so because Krishna held him very tightly. Consequently, this would be the last time for Trinavrata's yogic power. Now he was going to die by the arrangement of Krishna. Hare Krishna. So, in this verse, we see Krishna was very heavy. The two analogies given are like a hunk of iron and mountain. And Trinavrata's neck was completely caught by the baby Krishna. Trinavrata was huge body, little child Krishna with his baby-like hands, 1 year old, had caught the neck of Krishna, neck of Trinavrata. One thing here is Krishna says, if you hold me once, I will not leave you. There's a beautiful lesson there. Even when one tries to get rid of Krishna, Krishna does not leave. It says Krishna consciousness. Krishna didn't want Trinavrata to make sound so as to not to scare the Vrajavasis. That's another reason. Because, so, when someone's neck is choked, you can't speak also, right? Like if the neck is open, then the person can shout loudly and say heavy words and cause, but if the neck is like choked, the person cannot speak pretty much. Because Krishna remembered, hey, Putana, Krishna was holding her, breast and gave such an aqua puncture or aqua pressure that her life here was squeezed out. But in this case, Trinavrata was held by Krishna's hands. Krishna held Trinavrata's neck because Putana cried, Muncha, 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 leave me, child, leave me. Very, very loudly she was calling out. But in this case, there was, it was pretty much choked. And it was the last time for Trinavrata's yogic power, because if you try to show one's greatness in front of Krishna, that pretty much is the last time. Because Krishna is the greatest of the all yogis. And now Trinavrata was falling down. Now the descent has come. First he was going up, 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 reached the peak. Now skydiving. Krishna likes all these sports. So this is the verse. Any other comments here? Okay, let's read the next verse, text 28. Yes, who wants to read?
I can read, Guruji. Hare Kṛṣṇa devotees, Dhanur Pranam, all glories to Śrīla Prabhupada, text 28. Galo Brahano Nishchesto Doito Nirgato Lochano Abhekto Rabho No Patat Shaho Balo Beshur Braje. Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivinoda Swami Prabhupada, Śrīla Prabhupada ki joy. With Krishna grasping him by the throat, Trinavrata choked, unable to make even a sound or even to move his hands and legs. His eyes popping out, the demon lost his life and fell, along with the little boy, down to the ground of Braj. So Prabhuji, here we see the mystic. Krishna is the greatest mystic. He took first became heavy in his mother's lap, Mohima, then he became Logima, that Krishna took him up, and then again become Mohima, because become so heavy that he has to fall down, come down. And definitely on the way coming down, Krishna killed him by gasping him throat. So back to Prabhuji, you can add more.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So here are a few pictures here. I was trying to see. Yeah, this is a nice one. This world demon was held by Krishna's neck. Oh, sorry. Dravada's neck was held by Krishna's hands. This comes later. They were up high in the sky. Ah, this is a beautiful one. You see how Krishna's lotus hands are touching Dravada's neck. Pretty much choked him. The end. Liberated him. The demon lost his life. Even before, as you know, the flight is kind of coming down, and you know, the end for the Trinavrata. And I think, yeah, this picture is also so relevant actually, because it's mentioned the eyes. Look at the, yeah, eyes popping out is mentioned in this verse. So pictures really help to understand the demon's lost his life along with the little boy down to the ground of Raja. So he fell down on a hard rock. He was already gone, but he was a very big body, and his eyes popped out. Krishna landed at the same place, perfect landing, where he was being picked from. Right? So it had a two-way ticket. It was not just a one-way ticket. So Krishna, the helicopter came, lifted him up, took him high in the sky, some 10, 20,000 feet high, quite high. His engine did not have power to take Krishna further up because Krishna was so heavy, like a mountain, and then descended. And on the way, Krishna killed the word or liberated the demon, because anyone who gets touched by Krishna gets liberated. What to speak of, or you know, indirectly even, what to speak of Krishna's direct touch. So he left up his body up in the air before even landing. Krishna Bhagwan ki jai. Let's see what happens further. Yes, Sudhir Prabhu, you want to read?
Sure, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna devotees, and Pranam, all close to Śrīla Prabhupada, text number 29. Tam antarikshet patitam saliyam visiranya sarva va vyayam karalam puram yata rudrasarena vidham striyor rudatyo dhatrush sameta. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai. While the gopis who had gathered were crying for Krishna, the demon fell from the sky into a big slab of stone, his limbs dislocated, as if he had been pierced by the arrow of Lord Shiva, like Tripurasura. Purport. In transcendental life, as soon as devotees of the Lord merge in lamentation, they immediately experience the Lord's transcendental activities and merge in transcendental bliss. Actually, such devotees are always in transcendental bliss, and such apparent calamities provide a further impetus for that bliss. So Hare Krishna Prabhuji, so wonderful explanation here. So we can see that Srinavarta, when he fell down, he lost his limbs, it got dislocated. So as you rightly mentioned, it's kind of a free fall. So he hit on a slab and the limbs got dislocated. So very nice explanation you also said, Prabhuji. So when we take Krishna, Krishna will not leave us. So he liberated, even though Trinavarta was trying to harm him, but he mercifully liberated Trinavarta. Thank you, Prabhuji. Please add Hare Krishna.
Prabhuji. His limbs were dislocated. हड्डी पसली एक हो गया उसका. Right? Just imagine. He fell on a big slab of stone. Shila Tanka. Shila. This pathar. Just imagine. Something very high. If you have experienced this, like I used to work in a power plant. They always say, wear helmet or head cover. Why? Because in the power plant, there's some bill. Even a small piece of of 10-gram piece from 5 stories above, if it has a free fall, and if it falls on our head, it will cause a serious damage. Like, you all are able to visualize that? Even if it's like 10 grams, right? Even like this tiny pen, right? If it falls from like 5 stories up on our head, it can cause a serious damage, right? What to speak of a bigger object. So now multiply that with 1,000 times high and multiply the weight of Trinavrata. So huge. Now that object is falling without any parachute, right? So what would have happened? And that too not on a soft bed of grass or not like, or something, on a hard stone. As now when we can relate, so that the analogy here is at the body pierced by the arrow of Lord Shiva like Tripurasura. So in short, it was a very miserable landing for Trinavrata. Nonetheless, I mean, he was already dead. Dead means the soul was out. Just by when Krishna grabbed the, so he didn't die because of the fall or because of his body hitting the stone. He already was gone before the body, touched the ground. But nonetheless, even the body, which is like a matter, also dislocated. Now, a little bit about the mood of the gopis. They were already crying, as we discussed yesterday. Now there is union. Actually, the union will happen maybe in the next few verses. Such devotees are always in the transcendental bliss, and such apparent calamities provide a further impetus for that bliss. Basically, the union after separation is more sweeter, is it not? When we see our parents or child after a long time, right? Naturally we feel more happy. And if we see them every day, we feel happy, but the union after separation is much sweeter. That's the point here. So the sambhoga after the varaha is much sweeter and increase the love of the gopis and Mata Yashoda, of course. So Who knows the story of Lord Shiva and Tripurasura? Anyone knows? We read this story. Any clue? Anyone? Have we read this? Or what do you say?
I can't recall closing, but we read in the Bhagavatam, right?
We read in the Bhagavatam. Yes, that's correct. Tripurari.
So Brahma gave some boon, right, Prabhuji? I vaguely recall, but not sure, Prabhuji.
Let's read that story. So, I'm just trying to identify which canto was that. Krishna. Krishna. Maybe I'll figure it out tomorrow. Then we can read that. In short, I remember this very, not with all the details. Lord Shiva was fighting with this Asura. So the demigods were fighting. Lord Shiva came to help, but somehow the demons were getting revived because there was a pot of transcendental nectar. And then Shiva asked for help, and Lord Brahma came, and Lord Krishna came, and Lord Vishnu came. They took the form of some cow or the calf, and they drank that nectar, and then there was no more nectar. And then they helped Lord Shiva to kill this Asura named Tripura Sura. Therefore, one of the names of Lord Shiva is Tripurari. Like Murari, the killer of Mura demon. Tripurari is the killer of Tripura demon. That's so we'll read that story in more details tomorrow. But for now, let's continue. Okay, let's read text number 30. Lakshay, Prabhu, you want to read?
Yes, Guruji. Pradyamatre Pratritya Vismita Krishnam cha tasyo rasi labamanam tam swastimatam purushadam nitam vihayasa mrityu mukta pramuktam gopyascha gopa kila nanda mukya labdva puna prapur ativa modam. Translation. The gopis immediately picked Krishna up from the chest of the demon and delivered him, free from all inauspiciousness, to Mother Yashoda. Because the child, although taken into the sky by the demon, was unhurt and now free from all danger and misfortune. The gopis and the cowherd men headed by Nanda Maharaja were extremely happy. Purport. The demon fell flat from the sky and Krishna was playing on his chest very happily, uninjured and free from misfortune. Not at all disturbed because of being taken high in the sky by the demon. Krishna was playing and enjoying. This is Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Vigraha. In any condition, Krishna is Sachidananda Vigraha. He has no unhappiness. Others might have thought that he was in difficulty, but because the demon's chest was sufficiently broad to play on, the baby was happy in all respects. It was most astonishing that although the demon went so high in the sky, the child did not fall down. Therefore, the child had been saved virtually from the mouth of death. Now that he was saved, all the inhabitants of Vrindavana were happy. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna, Akshay-Prabhu. Very nice. You have any thoughts from this verse? Any learnings?
The gopis and the cowherd men were like happy that Krishna didn't die because of but even though the demon died, but they didn't know yet that Krishna was the Supreme Personality of Godhead.
Very nice. Thank you. You see that there's a big demon, big chest. And just think about, he went so high up in the sky, but when he landed, Krishna was totally safe. Same case with Putana. She was so high, 12 mile-ish, something like that, 10 miles long. Just being like, he was also, Krishna was also the chest of Putana, that must be like at least 7-8 miles up in the sky. And when she also fell down, Krishna was at her chest. When Trināvrata fell down, Krishna was at his chest, simply playing. Anandamaya bhyasat, Ananda Chinmaya Rasa Vigraha. As if nothing happened, such an Ananda Vigraha. There is no unhappiness. He is the source of all happiness. He is the source of all rasa. He is the source of all joy. And seeing Krishna happy, now my child is safe. All the inhabitants of Vrindavan was very happy. So devotees' happiness lies in the happiness of the Lord. It's a great lesson here. The happiness of devotee lies in the happiness of the Lord. The happiness of devotees does not lie in materialistic things like job, wealth, car, money, name, fame, recognition. How much Krishna is happy with them. And how do we know if Krishna is happy with us? How do we know if Krishna is happy with us? And how do we know if Krishna is happy or not?
If senior devotees are happy with our activities.
Yes, if Vaishnavas are happy. Any proof from the holy scriptures so that we can justify this statement?
Haridas Thakur.
Haridas Thakur, can you elaborate a little bit?
Prabhuji Haridas Thakur was chanting almost 108 million names of Krishna, and Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu was very pleased on him, and when he left his body, Śrī Caitanya Mahāprabhu took him and in his lap and cried for that exalted Vaishnava. And also he bitten by 22 marketplaces, and none of those bitten actually hearted him, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was protecting him. And because Haridas Thakur ask forgiveness for those people, that's why they are forgiven, because the Vaishnava ask forgiveness on behalf of those people who was doing that bad karmas, like bad activities, by beating Haridas Thakur. So maybe it's
Nice.
relevant. Okay.
Thanks, Mataji. I was looking more into how this applies to us, like any verse which tells this, or the famous verse from the Mangalarti. Yasya prasadat bhagavat prasado. Yasya aprasadat na gati kutopi. When Guru, this Mangalarti is basically Guru, Guru Ashtakam, the 8 verses glorifying the spiritual master, which means Diksha Guru, Shiksha Guru, Pad Pradarshak Guru, all the Gurus. If Guru and Krishna, if Guru is happy, Senior Vaishnavas are happy, then Prabhupada is happy, Krishna is happy. So this is the chain. So now Krishna is happy, Krishna is safe, devotees are happy. So the happiness of devotees lies in the happiness of Krishna. And Krishna is, of course, happy to see his devotees happy. It's like a mutual. So this is Vrindavan. This is real Vrindavan, as we discussed. Why they were sad earlier in the previous verse, we read in text number 25. When Krishna was there, they were happy. When Krishna was not there, they were unhappy. This is Vrindavan. This is Gopi Bhav. So 2 things to note here: how to be happy by keeping Guru Sadhu happy, and interesting thing to observe here that Krishna was unhurt, right? So it's not a coincidence, right? One time it can be a coincidence. Like, what's the likelihood? Just think, what is the likelihood of someone is, like a child is with a big person. They both fall down, right? From 10,000 feet or miles, at the exact units are not mentioned, but at multiple places mentioned they were very high, right? So from a very high, up in the sky, they fall down, that on a flat rock, and nothing happens to the baby. Like, it's no coincidence, right? It shows that the Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead again and again. Not even a hair was affected. And on the contrary, the demon, it's mentioned all his limbs were broken. All the limbs were dislocated. It must be a very hard hit. But nothing happened to Krishna, because he is Abhigyaswaran. He is the Supreme Lord, right? So we are till text number 30. 31. Who wants to read? Anyone who has not read wants to read?
Prabhuji, can I read?
Yes, please.
Hare Krishna, everyone. Dana Pranam. I'm going to Shri Prabhupada. Oho Bayat Adbhutam Isharat Kshasam Balo Nivritim Gamito Abhyagat Punaha Him Sharah Sarva Papena Vihim Stita Kala Kahala sadhuhu samatvena bhayad vimuchyate. Translation and purport by A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Prabhupada ki jai. It is most astonishing that although this innocent child was taken away by the Rakshasa to be eaten, he has returned without having been killed or even injured, because this demon was envious, cruel, and sinful. He has been killed for his own sinful activities. This is a law of nature. An innocent devotee is always protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and a sinful person is always vanquished for his own sinful life. Purport. Krishna conscious life means innocent devotional life, and a sadhu is one who is fully devoted to Krishna. As confirmed by Krishna in Bhagavad Gita, 9th chapter, 30th verse, Bhajayate maham ananya bhakshadur eva sa mantavyaha. Anyone fully attached to Krishna is a sadhu. Nanda Maharaj and gopis and other cowherd men could not understand that that Krishna was Supreme Personality of Godhead playing as a human child, and and that his life was not in danger under any circumstance. Rather, because of their parental love for Krishna, they thought that Krishna was an innocent child and have been saved by the Supreme Lord. In the material world, because of intense lust and desire for enjoyment, one becomes implicated in sinful life more and more. Kama esha krodha esha rajo guna samudbhavaha. Therefore, the qualities of fear is one of the aspects of material life. Ahara nidra bhaya maithunam cha. But if one becomes Krishna conscious, the process of devotion service, Sravanam Kirtanam, diminishes one's polluted life of material existence, and one is purified and protected by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Nityaṁ sva kata Krishna punya sarvana kirtanaha. In devotional life, one has faith in this process. Such faith is one of the 6 kinds of surrender. Rakshashiyati Vishwaha, Hari Bhakti Vilasa, 11.676. One of the processes of surrender is that one should simply depend on Krishna, convinced that he will give one all protection, that Krishna will protect his devotees is a fact, and Nanda Maharaj and other inhabitants of Vrindavan accept this very simply. Although they did not know that the Supreme Lord himself was present before them, there have been many instances in which a devotee like Prahlad Maharaj, Dhruv Maharaj have been put in difficulty even by his father, but has been saved under all circumstances. Therefore, our only business is to become Krishna conscious and depend fully on Krishna for all protection. Thank you, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, couple of reflections from my side, Prabhuji. It's all a sinful. I think it's like at the end of translation, and Srila Prabhupada said that sinful person will always be killed by, not killed, I think, I don't remember, but exactly like a sinful person will always be vanquished by Krishna, which is kind of for his simple life. Yes, that kind of struck me, Prabhu. It's like we always talk about, um, I'm people like me. So we have so many sins from past lives or in the current life because of material desires and lot of things. Kind of accumulate those, but only through simple living, which is like a Krishna conscious life, as Prabhupada mentioned in the purport again. Those sinful activities will be diminished slowly, like not completely in this life, but at least the amount of sinful activities that that I do are kind of at least 1% they are going down with this simple bhakti process. So it's not doing anything specific or anything, just by chanting and then by hearing some of these wonderful pastimes of Krishna, Govinda. Some of them is like I'm reflecting myself, okay, these are some things which are not to be done. But if a person is like, oh, he's not in this path of bhakti, or at least not thinking about these, the sins, knowingly or unknowingly, through this material life, they will continue to do the sinful activities, which will lead them to the much degraded life. And one other thing which I connected also is, Prabhu, is that just a belief that as like gopis and Nanda Maharaj and Yashoda Mata believed that it's Krishna is there, he will take care of us. I think that's something that everyone have to keep that very close. Most of us, I heard a lot of times, Sudeep Prabhu, you, Vipul Prabhu, a lot of times, we just fear to, Govinda will, Krishna will take care of it, we will just plan, that's all we do. So I felt it like, okay, that's how we should be, or I should look at, we don't have anything in our hands, just a sincere desire, and he will be there for us to take the rest of the path. So those are the things I want to share. Thank you so much.
So, thank you so much. Very nice comments and reflections. The child was innocent, right? That's the point here. The child was innocent, and the demon was demoniac. He was demon. Paritranaya sadhuna vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma sansthapanarthaya sambhavami yuge yuge. Time and again, Krishna comes to protect the divine or the innocent, the devotees, and to kill the demoniac or the sinful. The demon was envious, cruel, sinful, therefore he was killed. And devotees are innocent. Prabhupada is writing such a beautiful line. Krishna conscious life means innocent devotional life. Anyone wants to say something on that? What does this mean to you? What does this mean to you? Maybe Zoom has added new features where we can all collaborate on this thing called whiteboard. So just write in few words. You all can write. I guess you all see this. I'm first time trying this. You'll see the whiteboard. And you have the ability to collaborate, I guess. Right? Are you able to write something on this? Yes? No?
Where to write?
Yeah, it is not giving me option. I have to
I can't write anything, Prabhuji.
This is a new thing I'm trying, I don't know. Able to write? Click on the link I sent. Let's see if that works. You're able to see the whiteboard, right?
Yes, Prabhuji. You can see it.
It's a board to collaborate, so somehow there should be a way to all of you to okay. If not, you can just verbally tell it. That's fine. If you're not able to, I can type for you. That's fine. Just tell me like in a few words. What are few things come to your mind? Krishna conscious life means innocent devotional life. Just in a few words. What is it? What comes to your mind?
So a devotee who is a Krishna conscious, the whatever he does from morning to evening, centered with Krishna. So like doing chanting, kirtan, Bhagavatam class, cooking prasadam, eating prasadam. So there is no scope, and we have a party, Krishna party, we had in the weekends, a lot of dancing parties. So there's no scope to be get engaged in kind of sinful activities. There's no room actually, no time actually. So
Busy for devotional services, kind of like is that like engaged, like not busy, like engaged in varieties of spiritual activities. Does that sum up your point in few words? Anyone else?
Hare Krishna. Prabhuji, now I am able to, from the laptop, I switch it to, I am able to
Edit?
edit.
Yeah.
So I think.
I think the laptop is required. Yeah, use the, oh, don't delete it.
So Prabhuji, as Bipul Prabhu mentioned, and
Yeah.
also I always remember, sorry Prabhuji.
It's gone what I was typing. Can you do like Control Z or something? It's all erased out.
I tried
No,
to write
Prabhuji, I can
something.
see it, Prabhuji. I can see
Yeah, I
Krishna
can see
conscious
it.
life. Yeah.
I can
Think of
also see
Krishna
it.
engaging.
See.
You are not able to see, Prabhuji? We are all able to see. You wrote KC life, innocent devotional life. Think of Krishna engaged in varieties of spiritual activities. All that we see on your whiteboard. Maybe let me.
Are you editing, Sudhir Prabhu?
No, Prabhuji. It is giving me option, I said.
back. Okay, it's back now. Okay, yeah. Now I can see. Somehow it was gone. Yes, they probably were saying something. Yeah.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, as Bipul Prabhu was mentioning, with Krishna consciousness, I always remember your ABCD, Prabhuji. So a lot of association we could, get Vaishnava association, devotee association, books, Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, every day we read, and chanting the holy names, and devotional service, entering Vrindavan, eating prasadam, singing. So it is very joyfully mentioned, as Prabhupada says, it is simple but not easy. But with devotee association, it will become easy also. Thank you.
Very nice. In the word here, Prabhupada is exclusively kind of using an innocent, right? The word innocent. Innocence means, generally we say, innocence of a child, right? When we talk about innocence, we talk about children. Children are innocent. What are those qualities children are like? They're not duplicitous. So bhakti, you should not be duplicitous. That means there is no hidden agendas. Childlike simplicity, childlike innocence. And they don't have any kapat or hypocrisy. These are wonderful qualities to have in our devotional life. To be straightforward, to be innocent, to be not duplicitous, to be simple, simplicity. Saralta hi Vaishnavta, and Vaishnavta means saralta. This means sadhu. And then the surrender gets easy also. If one knows that Krishna will protect me, that's it. Prahlad knew that. No other turbulence in the world could do anything to him. He had like the child, like simple faith. Avashya rakshive Krishna iti vishwasa. These are the 6 symptoms of surrender. Or rakshishyati iti vishwasa. That Krishna will always protect me. There is no doubt in that. That's surrender. That's childlike simplicity. That's innocence. So, and of course, all the other things you mentioned are certainly valid, coupled with straightforwardness, innocence, simplicity. So, therefore, our only business is to become Krishna conscious and depend fully on Krishna for all our protection. Right? Kamala dalajala jivana talamala. Anything can happen any moment. We don't know what may come tomorrow. We don't know what may come next second. Life is so precarious. Chanchalam, like a drop of water on a lotus petal. Anything can happen any moment. That doesn't mean that we live in fear of death at all time. That means we live in the remembrance of Lord Hari at all times, because he is the one who will protect us at all times. Vasudhi Mataji is mentioning to advance in Krishna consciousness by detaching from material sense gratification, desires, name, fame, etc. Very nice point. And then to share Krishna consciousness with others. Yes, it's also very, very important part of devotional life. Rice and dal. Remember that lecture? Rice and dal is a very healthy combination, and it both add to each other. So if you eat just rice, it's fine, but it won't give that much nutrition. If you eat just dal, it will give some nutrition, but not that. But when you combine it, it gives 50% more nutrition. Like 1 + 1 is not 2, it's 11. It's like rice and dal put together is a very healthy combination. That means sadhana and seva, or outreach, devotional service, sharing Krishna consciousness. So doing strong sadhana, 2 things: chant Hare Krishna, and remember the seminar by Vishika Prabhu, What are the two things he said in the seminar and repeated like 10 times? What's the first thing? Who knows? Anyone?
You mean the sharing?
And touch the pavement.
The payment, yes, that comes later. What are the two main things in Krishna consciousness from the seminar he shared? He repeated that like 10 times and made us repeat 10 times at least in the military way. And said that if night 2 a.m. if anyone wakes you up and then say, what's the first thing in Krishna consciousness? And then what's the next thing in Krishna consciousness? The first thing is, who remembers? Chant Hare Krishna. Next, teach others.
Yeah, sharing. That's
Yes, teach others. Chant Hare Krishna, teach others. Chant Hare Krishna, teach others. These are the two. This is bhakti. So this is rice and dal. In case you haven't heard that lecture, rice refers to our own sadhana. Dal refers to the preaching. And combined together helps us in multiple ways. Okay, so I think it was good discussion and about from the Nityaṁ. So now the baby has been picked, and there's still for a few more verses, which we will cover in the next few days. But for now, we will pause and meet tomorrow. Grantaraj Śrīmad-Bhāgavatam Purana ki jai, Śrīla Prabhupada ki jai, Samaveta Gaura Bhaktivinoda ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namo. Hare Krishna. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Bol.
good.
Hare Krishna.